All great and precious things are lonely. Sometimes it's better to be alone. Nobody can hurt you. The best part about being alone is that you really don't have to answer to anybody. You do what you want. I used to think the worst thing in life was to end up all alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel all alone. If you are lonely when you're alone, you are in bad company. Loneliness is not lack of company, Loneliness is lack of purpose. It's far better to be unhappy alone than unhappy with someone, so far. Sometimes you just need to be alone and let your tears out. The strongest man in the world is he who stands most alone. To be alone is to be different. To be different is to be alone. The time you feel lonely is the time you most need to be by yourself. Loneliness is the human condition. No one is ever going to fill that space. Sometimes life is too hard to be alone, and sometimes life is too good to be alone. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. Being alone has a power that very few people can handle. Sometimes you need to sit alone on the floor in a quiet room in order to hear your own voice and not let it drown in the noise of others. Inside myself is a place where I live all alone, and that's where you renew your springs that never dry up. Pray that your loneliness may spur you into finding something to live for, great enough to die for. Loneliness expresses the pain of being alone, and solitude expresses the glory of being alone. There is a certain strength in being alone. To go out with the setting sun on an empty beach is to truly embrace your solitude. Sometimes you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes in the middle of nowhere you find yourself. It's weird to feel like you miss someone you're not even sure you know. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. Do not be afraid of spending quality time by yourself. Find meaning or don't find meaning, but steal some time and give it freely and exclusively to your own self. I love to be alone. I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. Sometimes you just need a break in a beautiful place, alone, to figure everything out. You cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. A season of loneliness and isolation is when the caterpillar gets its wings. Remember that next time you feel alone. Loneliness is the poverty of self. Solitude is the richness of self. If you are afraid of being lonely, don't try to be right.